Hello friends, welcome back to Become Cybersecurity Expert. My name is Pranav Sabne and in this video we are going to see what are IT vulnerabilities. What is vulnerability? What is threat? What is risk? Many people think that all these terms or concepts are same, but it is not. All these terms or these concepts mean different things. So they are not same, but they are interrelated. So in this video, let us see what is vulnerability. So in simple term, vulnerability is gap between desired state and the current state. So if this is your desired state and this is your current state, it means there is a gap, and that gap is called as vulnerability. If there is a flaw in design or implementation of your solution, then it is vulnerability. Many people think that vulnerabilities are only technical vulnerabilities. Of course, there are technical vulnerabilities, but there are non-technical vulnerabilities as well. Any vulnerability scanning tool can tell you only technical vulnerabilities. It will not be able to tell you any non-technical vulnerability. So let's see what are different types or categories of vulnerabilities. So there are network related vulnerabilities. You cannot run your infrastructure without network. And there are some best practices or recommendations about your network architecture and configuration. So ideally, let's take some examples. Ideally, all unused ports on any router or switch should be administratively shut down, so that no unauthorized person will be able to connect to that router or switch, and that person will not be able to make any misuse of it. But if you have not administratively shut down those unused ports, then it is vulnerability, because there is gap in the desired state and the current state. All critical network devices are expected to be configured in high availability mode, so that if one device fails, the other device will take care of. But if you are not running in high availability mode, it is vulnerability. It is expected that every firewall rule should be configured with explicit deny statement at the end of the rule. But if it is not, then it is vulnerability. So these are some examples of vulnerabilities, network related vulnerabilities. There are physical access related vulnerabilities also. It does not come under IT security. But as if you are IT security manager, then you should ensure that physical vulnerabilities do not exist. Let's take couple of simple and sample physical access related vulnerabilities. Best practice says that compound wall should be of minimum 8-meter height, and there should not be any gap in the wall, so that no one can use the gap to rest their foot in the gap and jump over it. If it is not the case, then it is vulnerability. The wall should have height of minimum 8 meters without any gaps. Let's take another example. Data center is a critical area. So physical security should be properly implemented and maintained. So door to the data center should be strong enough with strong hinges. If it is not, then it is physical vulnerability. Then application related vulnerabilities. Your applications may have vulnerabilities. There may be backdoor, or the code may not be configured properly. It might not have been tested properly, and there are some bugs. You are getting errors when you try to update your data on the application. So there may be application related vulnerabilities as well. There may be utilities related vulnerabilities. In our data center, we generally use UPS, we generally use air conditioners, we use generators. So let's take an example of UPS. There was a company and they had implemented very strong IT security controls. Their competitor wanted to hack the system of this company, but they were not able to. Why? Because their IT security controls were very strongly implemented. So what did they do? They, from somewhere they came to know that UPS of this company is managed by the UPS service provider, and then the competitor hacked the system of UPS service provider, and through that system they they took control of UPS of this company, and UPS was not properly secured in terms of IT. I am talking about IT security. Nowadays UPS has IP address, so it is accessible. So they access that UPS, and through the UPS they enter the infrastructure and they hacked it. So as a security professional, you need to understand these things. It was a vulnerability, it was not properly configured. If your air conditioner is not giving you proper cooling, then it is a vulnerability, because overheating may result in physical damage of your devices. If your generator is not able to provide sufficient level of backup in case of power failure, then it is vulnerability. So there are utilities related vulnerability also. So as a IT security manager, you need to ensure that administration department is taking care of such vulnerabilities, so that there will not be any negative impact on your IT services. Supply chain. Today's world is open. Everyone is outsourcing some portion of their service or their product to some third party. We think that I have ordered something to my supplier, so my supply chain will start with them and end it at my company. But it is not. Assume that you have ordered some high-end servers from a trusted OEM. I agree that the OEM is very trustworthy and they have ensured security of the products or components which they manufacture at their own, but they might have outsourced something to their third party. It may be hard disk, or it may be processor or some component of the processors. It may be capacitors, it may be registers. What is the guarantee that the component manufacturer are taking care of everything and there is no vulnerability in the components? How will you know that? What is the guarantee that when the supplier sends the product, transfers the product from their premises to our premises, in between nothing will happen? There is chance that something may happen in between also. There may be some accident, there may be some flood, or there may be some other unforeseen circumstances because of which the delivery may impact. So as a security manager, you need to ensure that there are no vulnerabilities in your supply chain. Then next is processes. There may be HR related processes like background verification, onboarding or offboarding of employees. There may be quality related processes. There may be IT related processes like change management, incident management. There may be gap in the change management process. Your change management process may not be foolproof, because of which there will be unauthorized changes. It may result in after change P0 incident which will impact your business. So you need to take care of such vulnerabilities. IoT, Internet of Things. Nowadays you can manage anything from internet, any electronic device. It may be your television, it may be your refrigerator, it may be your washing machine. So just like we have seen in the case of utilities, that UPS example, similarly there may be some vulnerabilities associated with this also, and it may impact your organization. So you need to consider that there may be vulnerabilities in your products. BYOD, bring your own device. Nowadays companies allow employee to use their laptops and desktops. So it definitely brings in so many vulnerabilities. Whenever I discuss with IT professionals, they tell me that, Pranav, we don't use any BYOD because we provide laptops and desktops to our employees as well as our third parties. So BYOD is not applicable for us. Then I ask them a simple question. Can you use your emails on your mobile? Means can you open your office related emails on your mobile? They say yes. I ask them, can you attend your official meetings from your mobile? They say yes. So it means you are using your own device for office work. This mobile may not be provided by company. So definitely it is an example of BYOD and your organization is vulnerable to that. So you need to take care of all such vulnerabilities. So we started our discussion with a point. Vulnerability, threat, risk. Is it the same? No. These are completely different terminologies. Concepts are different. Meaning is different. But they all are interrelated. So please watch my other videos about IT related threats and risks so that your concept will be very clear. Hope this video is useful for you. So if you have found this video useful, then please like this video, share this video and subscribe your own channel, Cyber Security Expert. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye.